Hi students, today we are starting with the new chapter reproductive health. In this chapter we are going to learn the significance of reproductive health and the methods to achieve reproductive health. Let us start with the definition of reproductive health. According to the WHO, reproductive health can be defined as the total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. So that is physical aspect, emotional aspect, behavioral aspect, as well as the social aspect. So this is how the World Health Organization defined the reproductive health, as I am showing here. So with respect to reproduction, the person should be physically fit, he should be emotionally fit, he should be behaviorally and socially fit. Let us focus on problems and strategies with respect to reproductive health. We know that when it comes to the planning strategies, India will be the first country in the world. Here, with respect to reproductive health also, India, it had led the world by initiating the program at national level for the first time. India is the first country in the world to initiate action plans and programs of reproductive health at national level to attain total reproductive health and as a social goal. So the family planning was the first reproductive health plan and program which was executed in the year 1951. And the same plan was periodically assessed over the past decades and improved as a new program called Reproductive and Child Health Care, which covers the wider reproductive related areas as currently in operation under the name Reproductive and Child Health Care. So which was executed in the year 1997, and it is till the date. Both family planning and reproductive child health care programs helped India to build up the reproductive healthy society. Let us study the strategies used by government and NGOs to build a reproductive healthy society. The first strategy used by the government and NGOs, it is usage of audiovisual and print media in the public places to create awareness among people about reproductive related aspects. So as to bring the myths and the truths of the reproductive organs. Second strategy used by government and NGOs is to introduce sex education in schools. If we are able to introduce sex education school, it will discourage the myths and misconceptions about the sex in the students. In students, especially the age between 13 and 18, there will be many changes physically as well as physiologically, where they will have certain myths and misconceptions about sex. So by introducing sex education, we are able to discourage such kind of myths and misconception in those students about the sex. The sex education which has introduced in school has proper information about reproductive organs, adolescence and related changes, safe and hygienic sexual practices, sexual transmitted diseases. So the students were able to understand the truths and myths, misconceptions about sex so as to overcome all those misunderstandings. Third strategy used by the government is to educate people of marriageable age. By educating, marriageable aged people will come to know available birth control methods, care of pregnant mother, postnatal care of mother and child, importance of breastfeeding, importance for both male and female child, address the importance of bringing up socially conscious health families of desired size, awareness of problems due to uncontrolled population growth, social levels like sex abuse and sex related crimes. Available birth control methods in the sense the contraceptives which helps to overcome the population growth. Postnatal care in the sense after delivery, what are all the cares to be taken with respect to the wellness of mother and child. So for what we have discussed, they are all strategies with respect to reproductive health. To implement such strategies successfully, the government has some problems as follows. The first problem is the requirement of infrastructural facilities, professional expertise and material support to provide medical assistance to care people in reproduction related problems like pregnancy, delivery, sexual transmitted diseases, abortions, contraceptions, menstrual problems, infertilities, etc. Professional expertises in the sense the staff nurses, the doctors, the technicians, etc. And finally, the material support in the sense the equipments, the medicines, etc. Second problem, it is implementation of better techniques and strategies from time to time and to provide more efficient care. And the third problem is statutory ban on amniocentesis to check feticides. Here, amniocentesis is a fetal sex determination test based on the chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid surrounding the developing embryo. Next problem is to conduct researches by government and non-government agencies on various reproduction related areas to find out new methods to improve drugs, techniques and equipments. Among such researchers, Saheli, a non-steroidal tablet, which is an oral contraceptive method developed by the Central Drug Research Institute from Lucknow. Next problem is to create better awareness about sex-related matters, increased number of medically assisted deliveries and better postnatal care leading to decreased maternal and infant mortality rates, small families, better detection and cure of sexual transmitted diseases, overall increased medical facilities for all sex-related problems. To successful implementation the strategies, the population explosion is also one of the biggest problem. In a large populated country like India, it is not easy to implement successfully such kind of strategies. Now, let us study the reasons for population explosion. The first reason is increased health facilities along with better living conditions, which prolonged the lifespan of human being. And the second one, it is rapid decline in death rates, both mother mortality rate and infant mortality rate. Third one, it is increased in the number of people in a reproductive age. Because of these three reasons, the population size grown exponentially. So in the initial days, what we are talking about the 1900 century, the population was 2 billion. But by the 2000, the population size was grown to 6 billion. So I'm talking with respect to world. And with respect to India, it was 350 millions in the 1947, which was increased by the 2000 to 1 billion. According to census 2001, population growth rate was still around 1.7%. That is 17 new additions per thousand per every year. Then how to overcome the population explosion? The first step is to motivate smaller families by using various contraceptives. We have heard many times that the slogans which were made by the government such as Hum Do, Hamare Do, Aratige Vandu, Kirutige Vandu, etc. And second one is young urban working ones have to adopt one child norm. And the third step is statutory rising marriageable age of female to 18 years and that of male is to 21 years. Let us study the contraceptives. Contraceptives are the aids which help to prevent unwanted pregnancies. And ideal contraceptives featured by they should be user friendly, easily available, effective and reversible with no or least side effects, and should not interfere with sexual drive or desire or sexual act of user one. Now, the types of contraceptives. The first type, the natural methods. The natural methods work on the principle of avoiding chances of ovum and sperms meeting. That is, they avoid fertilization. Here, under natural methods, we have three types. The first one, it is periodic abstinence. Second one, it is withdrawal or coitus interruptus. Third one, it is lactational amenorrhea. The periodic abstinence works on the knowledge of ovulation. So we know that the egg is usually released on the 14th day or mid of the menstrual cycle. So here, if in such conditions, the couples has to avoid or abstain from the coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle to prevent fertilization. In the second type, withdrawal of penis or coitus interruptus, The male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. And in the third method, lactational amenorrhea works on absence of menstruation during the intense breastfeeding or intense lactation following by parturition. But this method has been reported to be effective only up to maximum period of 6 months. In the natural methods, the side effects are almost nil, but the chances of failure is high. Second type of contraceptives is barrier method. In this barrier method also, the fertilization is prevented by the physical barrier structures. These kind of physical barrier methods available for both males as well as females. In males, the physical barriers are well known as condoms, which are made up of thin rubber or latex sheath that are used to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in the female. These condoms should be wear before coitus so that the semen is going to be collected in those condoms only. This can prevent the conception. In India, condoms are popularly known as Nerols, which also helps to prevent from the sexual transmitted infections and diseases, and also provide privacy for the users as they are very easy to use privately. After condoms, the diaphragms, cervical caps, walls, they are somewhat dome-shaped structures made up of rubbers which are inserted in the female reproductive tract at the site of cervix, which also block the entry of sperm through the cervix. These diaphragms, cervical caps, warts, they are reusable structures which are more efficient when used with the spermicidal creams, jellies, and foams. Third type of contraceptivity is intrauterine devices. As the name indicates, these devices are fitted within the uterine part. Intrauterine devices are of three types. The first one, it is non-medicated intrauterine devices, example Lippus loop. And second one, it is copper releasing intrauterine devices, example Copper T, Copper 7, Multiload 375. Third one, it is hormone releasing IUD, example Progestasert LNG20. These intrauterine devices require the doctors or expert nurses to fit into the uterus part of the reproductive system. The principle of intrauterine devices are of different types. In few cases, intrauterine devices increases phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus part, and in certain cases, copper ions released by the intrauterine devices suppresses the sperm motility and the fertilizing capacity of sperm. And in case of hormone releasing IUDs, the uterine is made unfit for the implantation, and it also brings the cervix hostile to the sperms. Fourth type of contraceptives, it is oral administration. In oral administration, the working principle is prevention of ovulation and implantation. And at the same time, oral contraceptives can also alter the quality of cervical mucus, which can prevent the entry of sperm. These oral contraceptives are taken in the form of tablets, so what we call pills. These pills may contain only progestogen or else both progestogen and estrogen. Usually, these pills are taken for 21 days every cycle. After the first 5 days of menstruation, the intake of tablet has to be taken within the first 5 days, and it has to be continued for the 21 days. It has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desires to prevent the conception. Saheli is one of the non-steroidal contraceptive pill, which is also known as once in a week pill with very side few effects. Next type of contraceptives are, it is implants or injection. Implants are somewhat matchstick-like structures which are containing progestogen or progestogen and estrogen together, which are inserted just beneath the skin in forearm. In the same way, injections too, which may contain either only progestogen or both progestogen and estrogen, which have same effect as in case of oral administration. The supplement of progestogen or progestogen and estrogen together within 72 hours after coitus is very helpful to prevent the pregnancy in case of rape cases as well as in unprotected casual intercourses also. Study the significances and side effects of contraceptives. Firstly, we are going to study the significances. Here, the contraceptives help to prevent or to delay or to space pregnancy due to personal reasons, as well as they also help in the checking uncontrolled growth of population, and moreover they will not interfere with the sexual drive. Whereas it has many side effects which include the illness like nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, irregular menstrual bleeding, and even breast cancer. Now come to the new concept, medical termination of pregnancy, familiarly known as MTP. MTP can be defined as the voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term development. It is called as medical termination of pregnancy. Here the definition indicates voluntarily in the sense intentionally. So removal of the developing fetus, it is called as medical termination of pregnancy. And when we look into the world context, so about 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world, so which accounts 1/5 of the total conceived number. And because of illegal medical termination of pregnancies, the government of India legalized the MTP in 1971 with some strict conditions to avoid the misuse. And MTPs, when we look into the safest period for the MTP, it is the first trimester, in the sense before 3 months of the pregnancy it has to be removed, otherwise it may be risk for both mother and the developing infant. And when we look into the reasons for the medical termination of pregnancies, it may be to get rid of unwanted pregnancies either due to unprotected intercourse or failure of contraceptives. And another reason may be to get rid of unwanted pregnancies because of rapes. And it may be to get rid of pregnancies which is harmful either of two, in the sense it may be for mother or it may be for the developing infant, or in certain cases it may be for both. And even in few cases where the parents they don't want pregnancies, especially in case of female fetus development, it may also one of the reasons for the medical termination of pregnancies. Now it is sexual transmitted diseases. As the name indicates, the diseases or infections which are transmitted through the sexual intercourse are collectively called as sexual transmitted diseases or sexual transmitted infections, or else they are also known as venereal diseases or reproductive tract infections. Here we can find out many examples such as gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, and trichomoniasis, hepatitis B, AIDS, etc. Now let us study the transmission mode for the sexual transmitted diseases. The transmission mode may be due to unprotected sexual intercourses, or in some infections like HIV, hepatitis B, it can also be transmitted by the sharing infection, needles or surgical instruments, or even the blood transfusion whenever it is necessary. As we know that the mode of transmission for sexual transmitted diseases or infections, we can prevent them by following certain precautions, such as avoid sex with unknown partner or multiple partners, and should use condoms always during coitus. And in certain cases, if there is doubt, one should go to the qualified doctors for early detection and to get complete treatment if diagnosed with the disease. The sexual transmitted diseases include various kinds of symptoms. The early symptoms include itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swellings, etc. in the genital regions. In certain cases, infected females often may be asymptomatic and hence may remain undetected for the longer period. If the early symptoms were failed to be detected, it may lead to the complicated symptoms. And the complicated symptoms may be pelvic inflammatory diseases, abortions, stillbirths, ectopic pregnancies. infertility, as well as in certain cases it may also leads to the cancer of reproductive tract. Now, the last concept, infertility and assisted reproductive technologies. Infertility can be defined as the couples when they are unable to produce children even in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitation is called as infertility. And the reasons may be physical or congenital diseases, and it may be the drugs, or it may be immunological or physiological, or in certain cases the psychological cases may also leads to the infertility. Let us study the assisted reproductive technologies. Usually, in case of infertile couples, to treat them, there are special healthcare units called as infertility clinics. So, which helps to diagnose the problems associated with infertility and help them to corrective treatment, which leads to the enable, which help the infertile couple to have the children, and it is called as corrective treatment. However, in certain cases, such corrective treatments failed to have children. In such cases, the couples are assisted to have children through certain special kinds of techniques called as assisted reproductive technology. The assisted reproductive technologies are of different types based on the problem associated with the infertility. The first type of assisted reproductive technologies, it is in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer, which is familiarly known as the test tube baby program. In vitro fertilization, in the sense the fertilization that occurs outside the body, where the conditions are almost similar to the body, which is followed by the transfer of embryo. In case if the zygote or 8 blastomere staged embryo is transferred from the outside environment into the fallopian tube, then it is called as ZIFT, in the sense zygote intrafallopian transfer. In case if the transfer of embryo made with the more than 8 blastomeres into uterine, then it is called as intrauterine transfer. Once the zygote or the embryo is transferred successfully, the further development will take place inside the womb, as in case of in vivo fertilization. Next assisted reproductive technologies is gamete intrafallopian transfer. This ART is implemented only when a female is unable to produce gamete called ova. And next ART is intracytoplasmic sperm injection, where in laboratory the sperm directly injected into cytoplasmic content of ovum. Next type of ART, it is artificial insemination. Especially this artificial insemination is conducted only when male is unable to inseminate, or else if he has the lower sperm count. In artificial insemination condition, the semen is collected from either husband or donor, which is artificially inseminated into vagina or else into the uterine part, where it is called as intrauterine insemination. And this is how the above mentioned assisted reproductive technologies helps to have children to those infertile couples.